The bakery that opens before dawn. The village was still asleep. Only a few lights glowed beneath the dark morning sky. At the corner of a quiet street stood a small bakery. Inside, the baker had already begun her day. Every morning started the same way. Before the birds sang, the sun appeared, and the village woke up. She tied on her faded blue apron and gently placed flour into a large wooden bowl. The bakery was silent except for the soft sounds of mixing dough. As she worked, she smiled to herself. Another beautiful morning. The dough slowly came together beneath her hands. Outside, the sky began to brighten. Inside, the warm yellow lights made the bakery feel cozy and welcoming. Soon, rows of dough rested beneath linen cloths. The baker carefully checked each one. Looking good, she whispered softly. The smell of fresh bread had not yet filled the room, but she already knew it would be a good day. As dawn arrived, golden sunlight slipped through the bakery windows. The first rays of sunlight stretched across the wooden floor. Everything felt peaceful. Soon, it was time. The baker carefully opened the oven. Warm air rushed into the room. Golden loaves of bread sat inside, perfectly baked. A smile spread across her face. There you are. Steam drifted gently upward as she placed the bread onto cooling racks. The comforting smell quickly filled every corner of the bakery. It smelled like morning. It smelled like home. A little while later, she unlocked the front door. A small bell chimed softly. The bakery was open. Fresh morning air drifted inside. The flower boxes beneath the windows swayed gently in the breeze. Before long, the first customer arrived. An elderly man stepped inside carrying a small cloth bag. Good morning. Good morning, the baker replied with a warm smile. The usual? Of course. The baker handed him a fresh loaf of bread. Still warm. Just the way I like it. Soon, more customers arrived. A mother carrying a basket. A young cyclist on his way to work. A student stopping before school. The bakery slowly filled with life. Everything smells wonderful. Fresh bread always does. The baker smiled as she arranged more loaves on the shelves. The morning continued at its gentle pace. No one seemed in a hurry. People greeted one another. Neighbors shared small conversations. Children pointed excitedly at pastries behind the glass display. The bakery was more than a shop. It was part of the village. It was where mornings began. Later, when the busiest hours had passed, the bakery became quiet once again. The baker poured herself a small cup of tea and sat beside the window. Warm sunlight filled the room. Outside, villagers continued their day. Inside, everything felt calm. She took a slow sip of tea and looked at the nearly empty bread shelves. Many of the loaves were already gone. The morning's work had found its way into homes across the village. Onto breakfast tables. Into lunch baskets. Into the hands of neighbors and friends. The baker smiled. A little work every day. A little kindness every day. A little care every day. That was enough. As she looked out at the bright morning sky, she reflected on something she had learned long ago. Great things are rarely built all at once. They grow little by little. Like bread rising in the early morning. Like friendships formed over many years. Like a village waking up together each day. The bakery would open again tomorrow. Before dawn. Before the birds sang. Before the village awoke. And just like today, another beautiful morning would begin.